Our system of electing the President of the United States needs to be reworked and brought into the modern world. Hi, my name is Jeff Brady, and my topic of discussion today is our method of electing our President of the United States, the process known as the Electoral College. Changing our Electoral College. A glaring example of this was our last election, when Hillary Clinton received nearly 2.7 million more votes than Donald Trump and still lost the election. Does it not give you concern that our election system declared the major candidate with the least number of votes the winner? This is our democracy. No other major democratic country uses anything but the popular vote to elect its highest official. We need to revise our electoral system to match the will of the majority of the voters. One person, one vote doesn't seem to apply to America anymore. The reasons for change is not just about our last election. The impact this is causing is already apparent, and the negative effect it would have on our country and future elections calls for revision now. There are key concerns that need to be analyzed in detail. Look at who really elects our president. The Electoral College works based on the census applying based on population, giving each state a number of electoral votes. These votes are cast based on the popular vote of the state, but all the votes of that state go towards the winner of the popular vote within that state. There are 10 states that are called the swing states or battleground states. These states are crucial that the candidates win in order to be elected. The campaign focus and 99% of campaign funds are based and focused upon these 10 states. An example given would be Ohio. Ohio has 20 electoral votes and a population of about 11 million. California has 55 electoral votes and a population of about 40 million. Ohio received about 99% of the campaign funds, whereas California received about 1%. This is the example of how unbalanced our electoral system is. Not to mention poor Delaware, which has less than 1 million population and receives basically zero campaign funds. So these 10 states basically control our election process. They control where our funding is spent as far as campaign money goes, and also where our candidates choose to campaign. Over the electoral process, in addition, when a election is decided before the other states such as California, polls even close, the media is already predicting the winner. This is a wrong process and should be forbidden that elections are predicted before people even have a chance to vote. This has a severe effect on young voters and causes people to be disinterested in politics in general. Each vote should contribute equally, particularly in the states that have very big populations and feel that their vote doesn't count. It's a confusing system, and many Americans are confused by the system. The candidate is required to reach a minimum of 270 votes to be elected president. If he fails to do so, what comes into play is what's called a contingent election, and not many people know this, but the House of Representatives then selects the president and Congress selects the vice president. In this rare case, where will the president's loyalty lie? Most likely to the House of Representatives. There is a solution to this problem. It's called the Interstate Compact Agreement, and here's how it works. As part of the Constitution, states can join together for the necessary agreements like a bridge or a port, and the federal government does not have to get involved, so no constitution amendment is required. The state of Maryland was the first one to adopt this in an electoral process where two states can join their electoral votes together and vote as a combined state. If all the states were to do this to the point where they reach 270, then in fact this would make the popular vote the will of the people, and these states, all the electoral votes would go towards that candidate. This would eliminate the Gore-Bush problem that happened in a previous election where Gore lost with the majority of the votes, Bush won, and also the recent Trump campaign. There's no constitutional amendment, and currently 10 states have already joined into this interstate compact agreement. There is 75 electoral votes short of the 270 required. So this is a real possibility to correct the electoral problem. The majority should rule a democracy. We know that the majority is not always right, but in this case, it is the essence of democracy. No one should feel that they had no say in an election. It divides America, and 72% of Americans, as done in a recent poll by the New York Times and the Kaiser Foundation, show that the majority of Americans want a popular vote. In fact, every poll since 1944 has shown that the majority of Americans want a popular vote. In conclusion, what we do resolve by revising our electoral college by using a vehicle such as the Interstate Compact Agreement to elect our next president. Most importantly, the people elect the president and the vice president. Each American is more motivated to vote knowing that they can help put their candidate in office, not just their political party. The system is easy to understand. Young people may be more likely to register and vote, particularly in the states that were previously considered not important. No winners announced until all polls are closed, and eliminates a contingent election result. It's more likely that the country will unite and stand behind the winner with the most popular votes. And lastly, it preserves our democratic society. We project to every country that democracy, freedom of the individual, and personal rights is key to our successful country. Using a popular vote to elect our president parallels that philosophy. Thanks for listening. My references are on this slide. If you have any questions or concerns or comments, please post them to Backboard. Have a good day.